and welcome back to Virtual Art Class. This week we're going to be talking about shapes. Now, shapes are an element of art, which means it is one of the things that you need to create any kind of artwork out there. All right? Now, when we're talking about shapes, there's actually two different kinds of shapes. Now, the first type are geometric shapes. Let's see if we can say that together. Geometric shapes. These are the ones that are kind of rooted in geometry, which is a type of math. Now, these are the most basic shapes. These are the ones you learned when you were little, all right? They all have names for them, right? We have circle, triangle, square, diamond, heart, oval. All of our basic ones are geometric. Now, there is a second type of shape called an organic shape. Let's see if we can say that together. Organic. Now, these kind of shapes don't really have a name, and they don't really have to look a particular way. See how these shapes that I made, they don't really have a name. They're just kind of curvy and all over the place. They don't really have a perfect form. Now, organic means that it can be found in nature. So if you look outside of your window right now, you can see the leaves and the flowers. Everything kind of has a more natural shape to it, okay? So these are the two different shape categories. So we are going to be using both of these types of shapes in our drawing today. All right, now I'm going to get my setup changed real fast, and then we are going to start our drawing together. Let's go. All right, I have changed my setup and we are ready to get started. Now, everyone needs to have their supplies in front of them. Your paper needs to be up and down, just like this, not side to side, all right? Remember, when it's up and down like this is called portrait. And when it's side to side, it's called landscape. So for this drawing, we need it to be in portrait because we're going to be drawing some really tall shapes together. All right. Now, just like last time, I will be using my trusty black marker, but just so you can see it, remember, y'all can use pencils at home in case you make a mistake, okay? All right, let's get started. So, my plan is for us to use basic shapes, geometric and organic shapes, to make a city, okay? So, let's start it out together. So, what I want us to draw are 4 rectangles of different sizes, okay? So let's start with the first one together. All right, so I'm gonna start down here and work my way straight up, and I'll stop about there. That's how tall I want it to be, and then I'm gonna do a line, a horizontal line to the other side. All right, this is gonna be my first building, okay. Now my second building, I want it to be a little bit shorter. So I'm actually gonna come over here and draw another horizontal line right there and stop. And then I'm gonna go down, boop. All right, now I have 2 buildings right next to each other. All right, let's make the third building a little bit taller. I'm gonna start back up in this corner and go up, and then to the side, and then stop, and then I'll go back down again. All right, we now have our 3 rectangles. Let's add one more. I think, let's make this last tower a little bit taller. How about that? So I'm gonna start again in this corner and go up, 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 and then to the side. There we go. All right, we have now drawn 4 different rectangles all next to each other, and these are going to be our towers in the city. All right, now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to draw some geometric shapes inside of our building. All right, so the first thing I think of is I think of windows. Buildings have windows, right? And windows are usually in squares, right? Squares are rectangles. So I'm gonna add some little squares inside this building right here. Also, I'm gonna tell you this right now, I'm gonna have my building be a little funky. So I'm not gonna have all of my windows line up. I'm gonna have them kind of going different directions. They're not all gonna be the same size because that's just not how I want my building to look. I want it to be a little bit more fun. And I'm gonna get some big windows right here. I'm gonna make these long rectangle windows. Long, boop. And then let's see, what else should we add? Oh, let's add some triangles. What if we had some funky triangles on our building? Ah, yes, that looks awesome. Now remember, these are all geometric shapes. These are the shapes that we learned when we were itty bitty. These are like the first shapes you ever learn about. All right, let's add some bigger squares in our rectangle. Some bigger windows down here. Why don't we add a big circle? And let's add a big, I don't even know what shape this is. It was gonna be a square, but then it had rounded edges. That's good. That's gonna be the door. How about that? That'll be our sliding door. There. Ooh, okay. Now, I have added a bunch of geometric shapes in here. Now, I think I want to add some organic shapes, kind of maybe overlap them and just see what that looks like. So this big circle down here, it looks like it needs a little something. So I'm just going to draw a weird squiggly line. It doesn't have to look like anything. Yours is probably not going to look exactly like mine, but that's the point. All right. You see I've added a little squiggly shape in there. Let's add another big one up here. All right, I'm gonna start in the corner and just do wiggly lines, almost like we practiced last week when we were talking about lines. Boop. There we go. It looks like a really funky building now, doesn't it? Isn't that so fun? All right, we're gonna do this same thing on our other 3 buildings. So we're gonna add geometric and organic shapes, all right? So for this one right here, let's start out with an organic shape. Let's try something different. So let's just do a wiggly line. It almost looks like a paint splatter. Whoa, there you go. A nice big one right there. I'll add another one right under it because I love organic shapes because I think they're so fun because you can't ever mess them up. It's because they're not supposed to look like anything. So it'll always look good because it's not supposed to look like anything. All right, I'm gonna add some triangles up here. I'm having a lot more fun with this drawing when I'm just kind of drawing whatever I feel like because I'm just adding shapes in. Because this is gonna be a funky building. I'm gonna add some more rectangle windows in here. Maybe add some more triangles. Down here, there we go. All right, let me add a little square down here for the door. There we go. Okay, these look really fun and crazy. All right, let's add some more windows on our 3rd one. All right, let's add some squares, rectangles, circles, some triangles. These look like they would be so fun to live in. If they were like apartments, I think like this would be so fun to live in because they're crazy. All right, I've got my geometric shapes in there. Now let's add some organic. Let's add some squiggly lines up and down. Just give it a little jazz. All right, we are on to our 4th and last building. All right, let's add a geometric shape that we haven't drawn yet. Can you think of one? I have one. See if you can draw a heart. Hearts are very tricky to draw because since they're symmetrical, it's very hard to get it right. But I'm gonna just draw some different hearts all over this building. I'm gonna say these are heart-shaped windows. And I'm gonna add a bunch right down here. All right, Let's add some more square windows in there. All right, and it's time. Let's add a few more organic shapes in there. Let's add a squiggle up here, whoop, and a squiggle down here. There we go. All right, we now have all 4 of our buildings done. They look awesome. Okay, now that we have our 4 buildings in our city, I feel like we probably need to add something in the sky. What do you think? Let's try and draw a moon. Maybe it'll be nighttime in our city. So let's draw a crescent moon. If you know what a crescent moon is, it's a different type where the moon, as it's rotating, it looks different from the ground. And so it looks like it's this shape right here. Now, there we go. This would be, whoop. Now this shape right here, do you think that would be a geometric or organic shape? What do you think? This crescent moon shape is actually a geometric shape because there's a name for it and it has to look this certain way every single time. All right, I feel like we need to add some stars in our sky too. I'm just gonna add a few little stars in here. They don't have to look a certain way. Stars are also geometric shapes. All right, now it looks a little boring right now, but it is time to color. All right, so I'm gonna get my big trusty box of crayons out. And what I'm gonna do to make sure that all 4 of these buildings stand out is I'm gonna make sure they're all different colors, because if I color all of these buildings the same green color, it's not really gonna stand out, is it? I'm gonna try and color each shape something different so it really stands out and you can see all the wonderful, amazing shapes we made. All right, now I'm gonna cut to break, color it, and we'll be back with the big reveal. All right, are you ready? Let's go. All right, I have finished my city full of shapes drawing and it's colored and it looks really awesome. All right, we ready for the big reveal? Yay! Okay, here, I'm gonna take it off the easel so I can show you a little bit closer up. But look how fun that turns out. Whoa! So I colored the whole night sky a nice blue color, and I kept my moon nice and bright, and then I did each of my buildings a different color. But doesn't that look so much fun? And I colored in each shape something different. So all of our geometric shapes stick out along with our organic shapes. So doesn't that look awesome? All right, so we are done for the day. Give yourself a round of applause. Woo! All right, I just want to remind everybody to save your work. Everything that you do in this class is special, so I want you to keep it. And remember to post a picture of your work onto Schoology. All right, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.